Hey guys, it's Christina here, and I am coming on to give you all some tips for Tip Thursday. So, the tips that I want to give you all today are going to be some things to do and things not to do with our little ones right now. So, to get into that, I'm first going to talk about the what not to do. And I have three of them for you. The number one is what not to do is teach our children when they are in a bad mood. We don't want to present them lessons or activities when we see that they are not in a learning mood. We want to make sure that they're in good mood, they're happy, they're ready to learn. If you see that your child is sad, is upset, is crying, is tired, is hungry, then you want to postpone those lessons or those activities until a later time. Because what could happen when we do this is we could start to create a resistant learner, and this could happen at a young age. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that our children associate learning with fun. So always make sure that we are making sure that our children are in a good mood and that they are ready to learn. Okay, and if not, just do the lessons later whenever they're feeling better. Okay, so number two, we want to make sure that our lessons are not long. We want, if okay, let me say this. If you have a whole lesson for your child, and say the lesson is like 45 minutes, but within that 45 minutes, sorry for shaking, within that 45 minutes, we have different activities and lessons inside that. They're like 5 minutes, then that's okay. Your whole school day is going to be like 45 minutes. But if we are asking our children to sit down and do math for 30 minutes, that is too long. Our lessons are going to have to be short and to the point. We want to make sure we immediately explain to them what we're doing and how to do it. Let them actually do the activity, and then we're moving on. Okay, our children at this young age have a very short attention span, and you may notice it. You may see that your child is not paying attention to you when you're trying to teach them, and that is because, well, two things. It could possibly be because, one, their attention span just doesn't require them to pay attention to you too long. So depending upon the age of your child, even at the age of 5, their attention span is still going to be a few minutes long. So that's why we have to keep our lessons and activities short for them. And the other reason could be because the lessons that we are providing them are too long. Okay, so the number 3 tip I have is comparing them. We don't want to compare our children to other children or to their siblings. We want to always see our children as individuals and know that they will learn everything they need to learn unless they have special needs. If not, then they will learn, they will get it eventually. But we don't want to compare our children to other children because, one, it does something to us. It makes us feel as though we're not doing enough for our child when we see that other children are above what our children are doing or the level that our children are at. And it hurts the self-esteem of the child, and we don't want to do that neither. So we want to make sure that we look at our child as an individual, figure out what their weaknesses are, what they're currently needing to help them achieve the standards that you have set for them. But we never want to compare them to like their sisters or their brothers or to their cousins, or just compare them, period. Okay, so those are the 3 tips. All right, so now I'm going to go into the things that we should be doing with our children. We should be allowing them to learn and explore. We want to make sure that throughout the day they're given the opportunity to play, learn, and explore. But a way that we do this is making sure that the environment that they're in is an environment that allows them to play. We have our computer room here that has a lot of electronics and things that I don't want the children getting into. But we also have a little corner where they have some of their toys over there. They usually can sit there and play with their toys, but sometimes, especially my son, will start to explore other things from the corner, and I have to constantly tell him no, because he's messing with things or he's trying to get into things that he should not be getting into. And you don't want to have to constantly say no to your child. You want to make sure that they are in an environment where they can learn and they can explore, and this is where the learning environment is going to come from. So they could have our school room. We have our school room where they can go, they can play, they can do whatever they want to in their school room. and also their bedroom. Now there's still boundaries, but I'm usually not going to say no that often when they're in one of those rooms, the schoolroom or their actual bedroom. Now when they're in here in the computer room, it's totally different. So when I see that they're exploring, I'm going to then try to direct them to the schoolroom or their bedroom. Okay. Number three, we want to make sure we're paying attention to what our children are currently interested in. If we know what our child interests are, we could create some awesome, amazing activities for them to do. So once you know what your child is interested in, and this could be a TV character. If you have a child that likes some sort of TV character, you could go look for activities associated with that character. If your child really likes arts and crafts, you can create a whole unit study or a whole lesson plan, a whole theme over just arts and crafts, like whatever you can think of. If your child is interested in it, think of ways that you, sorry guys, think of ways that you can make lessons into those. And then third, we have the third tip is follow the lead of your child. We want to make sure that we're not or we want to make sure that we're paying attention to when our child is like stressed, like when we're requiring too much of them. And we also just want to make sure that we are paying attention to what their interests are so that we can follow their lead. So if we're presenting them with lessons and we see that the child is not interested, we want to follow their lead. If we see that our child is ready for addition, like they're asking that, mom, could we, or this is 3 over here and we have 1 over here, then we want to follow their lead. They're now ready to start addition. But if you see that when you're presenting these materials to them, you're trying to say, hey, we have 2 objects over here and 3 over here. Let's put them together and see how much we get. If you see that your child is struggling, they're not really getting the concept, then you want to follow their lead and scale back some and just go back to counting, to one-to-one correspondence, to quantities, until they're able to get the concept of addition. Us following the lead us following their lead is really going to help us reduce the stress, because we know that we're going off of our child and we're not telling our child to go off of what we want them to do or what we want them to learn. We're only going by what they're capable of learning. Okay, guys, so that is my tip for you all for Tip Thursday. Please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.